My name is Joyce Walker, and I am the director of the Illinois State University Writing Program. And we would like to welcome everybody who's here tonight, especially those people who are willing to be our speakers. We are really happy to have a live audience, but we're also going to be videotaping these, and they're going to be being used later on by our teachers in writing program classes in 101 and 145 later on down the road for next year. So we're excited about that also, that we have this opportunity to get these videos into play in our classrooms. And I'm going to explain a little bit about that, but just very briefly. In our writing program, we do things a little bit differently than a lot of other writing programs in terms of what we think it's important for writers to think about. Because there's research out there that indicates that just learning how to write really well in one situation isn't necessarily going to be everything you need to write in another situation. And that there really isn't any such thing as writing skills with a capital W that will save you, and you'll know everything you need to know. So in our writing program, what we're trying to focus on is this idea that what people really need to do is they need to become writing researchers. And sometimes that's just a really practical thing, like I need to write this new kind of writing that I've never written before, so I need to know how to go about researching that kind of writing and getting tips from other people and looking at samples and figuring out how to get better at that kind of writing. But in a broader sense, it also means learning to think about what people do with writing and not just take it for granted, but go, oh wow, that's weird. You know, why do they do that that way? Why does that genre include this element that always has to be there, but it really doesn't make any sense, you know? So we think it's really interesting for people to start thinking about writing research in that way, and we do a lot of things in our program to try to get people to think like writing researchers, and this evening here tonight is one of those things. So I'm going to let Meghann and Meeusen explain to you a little bit about our Grassroots Writing Research Journal, which is actually connected to tonight's colloquium, and then Emily's going to talk a little bit about our Grassroots Writing Research Scholarship Program, which is also connected to our colloquium tonight here, and then we'll actually get our speakers in and get them going, and it's going to be really entertaining, and you will all like it a lot. So thank you for coming.
As Joyce said, the writing research model, and one way that we sort of orchestrate that or encourage that in the program is through our in-house journal, the Grassroots Writing Research Journal. And this is the venue for our writing researchers, students, faculty, scholars, librarians, people from all over to publish in a really unique kind of venue, because we are developmental and work with students at every level to publish their writing research, the investigations that they've done, the ways that they have dug into the writing process in complex and nuanced ways. And what is really exciting about this event tonight is that it is connected in the journal, both in the writers from our previous issues who are sharing their ideas and how they have expanded over time. And so you can look at their articles in our previous issues, but also the scholarship recipients who are going to be in upcoming journals as well. So we are excited to not only publish the work of these scholars and encourage more and more writing about writing research, but also to show that talking about writing research is just as important. And hearing the ideas of these individuals, writers from the past and writers who will be featured in our future articles, and the excellent work that they're doing, I hope encourages you, many of you in the audience, to do this kind of work and then talk to me and work on publishing that kind of research in the journal. Emily?
Thanks, Meeusen. So if you go to our website, isdwriting.com, you can find a link to our Grassroots Journal. So if you are interested in publishing, you have all the information online that you might want to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. My name is Emily Johnston, and I am the Community Outreach Coordinator with our writing program. And I've also had the great pleasure of working with Vanessa Garcia and Kylie back here, who's coming here from Michigan tonight. They are our two undergrad writing research scholars this year. So I'm just going to tell you a very small amount about our scholarship program, and then we'll go right into introducing the presenters. So we're actually renaming our scholarship as a fellowship for next year. But basically what it is a way in which undergraduate students at any level get to work with our writing program one-on-one to develop a writing research project on any aspect of writing research that's interesting to them. So what you're going to be hearing tonight is what both scholars have been working on all year long with their writing research. So the scholarship gives students an opportunity to work one-on-one with people in our program, to present at a colloquium, and we have this colloquium every spring, and then finally to have their work published in our Grassroots Writing Research Journal that Meghann was just talking about. So we have up to 2 fellowships available for each year, and the fellowships come along with a nice $500 stipend that students can use however they see fit. And in order to apply for the scholarship, we're just asking for an application letter, some samples of your writing, and a nomination letter from a professor who has worked with you on your writing at some point. So, if you're an undergraduate, and this applies for people at ISU as well as other institutions, Kylie is our first scholar who comes from a different university. So this is not specific just to ISU students. But if you think you're interested in applying for next year, or perhaps you know somebody who might be interested, we have these nice little call for application flyers right over here. So please make sure to pick one up on your way out. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Vanessa Garcia.